got the Texas Fan Better Podcast. Young Bridge, Fifth Ward, Crenshaw. You know the best out there. Keno, Bo Diggity 713. To all my Texas Nation. If you feeling good, I want you to throw them H's up high. Yeah, like that. I see you. Let's swarm. Yeah, Houston, Texas, born and raised. Yeah, that's where I'm from. The best city in the state. Yeah, we stay turned up. There's excitement in the air for the Houston Texans. We swarming all year, causing havoc, we wrecking. Coming off that edge, we got 5-5-5-1. Thing on the outside, locking down your number one. All about the swarm mentality. And the H standing on business is the way we operate. I rep that 7 like CJ, that 1 like Diggs, that 3 like Dale. H-time we doing it big, you know that 12 out here, and don't you never forget, better pick your poison, cause we got Joe in the midst. We rock that battle red, still blue, Liberty white, H-time blue, drip galore, man, we so fresh, fire like the field. Shout out to the whole squad, chasing greatness, eyes on the prize, one goal, it's time to take it. Let's get it. Throw them H's up, throw them H's up, now you throw them H's up, throw them H's up, we throw them H's up, throw them H's up, let's all love for them Texans, cause them Bulls about to perform. Throw them H's up, throw them H's up, now you throw them H's up, throw them H's up, we throw them H's up, throw them H's up, let's all love for them Texans, cause them Bulls.
Yo, and welcome back to the Texans Fan Battle Podcast. I'm your host, Matthew Briggs, but as always, we got the crew with us, and we got a special guest. But before I introduce the special guest, I'll let you introduce my team swarm. First off, Mr. Crenshaw himself from Fifth Ward. What's going on, Crenshaw?
Nothing much. What's up, John?
What's up, Crenshaw?
All right. And the guy that needs the message to be heard, we got Mr. Kenneth.
What's good, everybody?
All right. And guys, like I said, we got a special guest, Houston Chronicle's own. We got Mr. Jonathan M. Alexander. What's going on, good sir?
Nothing much, man. I appreciate y'all having me on.
Well, this is the first time you've been on since we updated the intro. What do you think?
Oh, it was nice. I like the graphics too. Song was fire. Y'all had everything going on.
That was Crenshaw and Kendo's own lyrics.
Oh, for real? Okay.
Yeah, they dropped it.
Yeah, that was fire. That was cool. I like that.
Appreciate that.
All right. Well, let's kick it off with some Texans news. Big news today. Nico Collins reconstructed his deal. John, tell us what's the importance of this?
Well, the importance is that it frees up $9.8 million in cap space. So that money is good for free agency. It allows you to, to sign some free agents. And the Texans have a lot of needs. They got 25 or 24 now unrestricted free agents. So they're going to have to fill their roster with a lot of people. So they're going to have to continue to make moves. That probably won't be the only restructure that happened. It could potentially be a couple more, or maybe you see an extension of some players. But they need to open up more cap space. They probably need about $30 million, so probably a little bit more, 20 million more. But this is the first step in that process. They got the restructure done, and there's some other likely candidates like Aziz, even Daniil if they don't reach an extension. But they're gonna probably have to free up some more cap space.
Now, what about Tunsil? Do you see him getting reconstructed as well?
I think Tunsil is a candidate too, but I think he's probably like the least likely of the guys, just because he's already had his contract restructured last year. But it's possible if they look at that as an area that they want to do. But his number is extremely high right now, so they'll probably want to bring that down in some way, his cap number. So it's possible. I wouldn't be surprised if it happened.
Now, that's also to free up some move for the extension of Derek Stingley too, right? Because we got to pay him.
Yeah. Well, for one, the Texans have the option to extend the 5-year option on him, which I expect they will, and that keeps him through 2026. And that gives them more time to come up with a deal. But I think ideally they would like to have a deal done this offseason where he'll probably be the highest paid cornerback or top 3 highest paid cornerbacks in the league, can potentially reset the market. So yes, they do need money. They do need to free up money. Extending him won't save them money if at all. So any moves that they make, they can even make some post June 1st moves that can help them, because they're going to start negotiating with Stingley after free agency. So post June 1st moves will help them in that regards.
Okay. Kendall, what's your thoughts on the Nico Collins extension?
I would say it was kind of expected. Shout out to Nico for that. We all know like he's not a greedy guy. Like he said last year when people was asking him, hey, like, what do you want? Like, or whatever. Like they was basically trying to get a number out of him, but he was just like, man, I ain't turning down no money. And you can just tell he's not a selfish player. Like he all for the team. He know the goal. He know the mission. So shout out to Nico for that. And then other than that, as far as Stingley, like Jonathan just said, I know a lot of fans feel like we gotta rush and extend Stingley right now. But like he just said, and I already knew, like we don't have to. Like this, he's going on his 4th year. So at the same time, it would be lovely to do that right now, get that out the way. But at the end of the day, we still got time. So just hopefully Nick and Sarah continue to, you know what I'm saying, reconstruct some of these contracts so we can definitely create more money in the cap space.
And Kershaw, we know how you feel about receivers, so we'll get your words on it. How do you feel about Nico's reconstruction?
Well, we definitely needed it because we don't have any money. I'm curious to see how the rest of it's going to go for free agency purpose and everything. But let me ask John a question right now. How would you go by of paying these young guys in Stingley, CJ, and Will Anderson Jr.?
I mean, I think all 3 of those guys are going to be the highest paid at their positions. I think it's inevitable, and I think you got to pay them. To be honest with you, I just think you do it in segments. Like, I think you go ahead and lock up Stingley for the long-term future this offseason. I think you extend next season, because they don't have to pay CJ and Will this year because they're not eligible. I think next season you extend, give a 5th-year option to Will Anderson, also CJ, and you try to work out a deal with CJ first. Maybe you get a deal done, maybe you don't. But now you have those additional years for Will and CJ, and I think you do. I think you do both of those guys one at a time. I prioritize CJ first, and then get Will done. And I think all of that will happen, and I think you will see all 3 of those players be the highest paid at their position because, number one, they're really good, and number 2, they're the type of guys that you want to build around. They don't get in trouble. They play hard. They're all leaders in some way. Stingley's not a vocal leader, but he's a lead by example guy. And then Will Anderson and CJ Stroud are your team captains. Now, CJ might not be the highest paid, but he'll probably be one of the highest paid unless he just has a crazy year this year. But I think Will is going to be among the highest paid for sure. So it's inevitable. It'll happen. And and Nick Caserio has a history of doing right by his players.
Right. And, Max Crosby just got paid the highest non-quarterback in NFL. And you got to say, he's not Max Crosby yet, but the impact of Will Anderson is just like Max Crosby, right? Like, he's steadily getting better. He's, like you say, he's a force to be reckoned with. So I think about that time, he's going to probably break that.
Yeah,
I think he's probably going to be the highest paid.
Yeah, I think probably by year 4, because this is about to be year 3 coming up. I think by year 4, you'll probably see Will Anderson among the sack leaders and consistently, as long as he can stay healthy. And then when you start getting into that territory, those players that he's represented by Nicole Lynn, who also represents Jalen Hurts and many other high-profile athletes. And so he's going to get paid. I think as long as Will Anderson stays healthy, he's only going to continue to shine and get better, and he's going to be deserving of that money, just like CJ is going to be when he continues to ball out first.
And Stingley, who's about to get paid here soon, hopefully. Yeah, it's crazy though. Like we have not seen a full healthy Will Anderson. as much damage as he's done the last 2 years, it hasn't been 100%. So just imagine a fully healthy Will Anderson. It's gonna be crazy. Um, Speaking of health, uh, Tank Dell got surgery today, and I'm glad you're here, John, because me and Crenshaw kind of had a little debate. Do you put Tank Dell in the bust area yet, or do you wait?
No, I wouldn't put him in a bust area because he had a really successful first year. I think, and obviously he got hurt, and there were a lot of factors beyond his control. The second year, um, he probably won't play the third year. But I think when he comes back, he'll still have a chance to prove that he can be a solid guy. He was a third round pick. Third round picks are contributors; they're not superstars. I think there was always a level of concern about Tank Dell kind of coming in, being that he was 165 pounds on a good day. In the first year, the Texans put him in a compromising position, having him block at the goal line when they probably shouldn't have. And then this year was a freak accident. It was just crazy. The thing about Tank Dell is he doesn't get hurt just doing regular things all the time. Like, he's not a guy who is out doing regular things all the time. He's a guy who suffered 2 freak injuries. So you can't really blame that on him, really, because when he hasn't suffered those freak injuries, he's been on the field and he's produced for the most part. Last year, I think, was a little bit of an anomaly because the offensive line was so bad and there were so many weapons. And I think Tank kind of fell in the pecking order. So I wouldn't call him a bust, even though he probably is not going to play next year. I think he'll have a chance that 4th year, and I'm be betting on Tank to turn things around and prove everybody wrong.
Okay, so on that 4th year, that's his last year. Now, if you Nick Casario, would you invest in him with a long-term contract, knowing his injury history? I get it; it's freak accidents, but his body size doesn't, it doesn't last as long. So, would you give him a 3-4 year extension in year 5, 6, 7?
No, and I don't think Nick Casario would do that just because he's had injuries in his first year and probably won't play in his third year. They'll probably, say he plays well his 4th year, they'll probably give him a 2-year extension and say, hey, go out here and do this contract and we'll do right by you and give you another one. But they'll want to be careful, or they'll, fill the contract with different incentives for him to hit. Like, if he plays a certain amount of games, he can earn up to this amount. If he doesn't, he doesn't. They'll probably put outs in the contract that if he does get injured, he's not guaranteed money past a certain year. I think the Texans will be safe with it, and they're safe with all their players who get injuries. I mean, you look at Nico Collins' contract right now, and he's not one of the highest paid receivers in the league, but for that time he produced like one of the best receivers in the league. But that was because Nico Collins has an injury history. So, Nick Casario will be smart with the contracts.
Yeah, I could see them doing the same thing they did for Brevin, like extend him for a year if he do pretty well on his 4th year. But if he get hurt again, who knows what may happen.
Right.
Yeah, and I do agree with Crenshaw. It's kind of sucks that he's going into the 3rd season most likely not going to play the whole season. So he's missed more games than he started. But like you said, freak accidents do happen. Man just can't catch a break. Like I said, being in a poor position against Denver and then getting shot and then now, getting tackled by your own player, man, it's heartbreaking for the young guy. You just gotta hope the best. So hopefully smooth sailing for him after his surgery and he gets back onto the field. Going forward, what do you see Nick Casario doing in the next couple of weeks when free agency comes about?
Yeah, I expect Nick Casario to probably not be super active on the first 2 days. Probably by his time, let the market come down, and he'll probably try to find a bunch of guys who may have gotten hurt last year and have had success before that, looking to get those 1 year prove it deals, and try to find some highly motivated players. One of the examples he used at the combine was Zach Bond when the Eagles got him on a 1 year, I think it was $3.5 million deal or 4.5, which is ridiculous. And then Zach Bond was one of the best linebackers in the league, if not the best linebacker in the league, won the Super Bowl. It was a huge reason why the Eagles won the Super Bowl. So I think Nick is scouring free agency for those type of players. The Texans took that approach in 2023. Blake Cashman, huge. They re-signed him to a 1 year deal that year. And the guy went out and balled and earned his keep in Minnesota. Dalton Schultz was good in 2023. So they signed him to a 1 year deal, and he played well that year. Noah Brown had some good games. So, this is a strategy that the Texans have implemented before, and they had one of their best seasons that year. So I expect Nick Caserio to have that same approach because they don't really have a ton of money to spend on a lot of free agents and a lot of high-priced free agents like they did last year.
So, could two of those guys be the guys you mentioned in your article, B.J. Jones and D.J. Daniels? Yeah. Oh, no, B.J. Hall and D.J. Daniels. That's those guys' names, right? I might have got
No. So I mentioned, from what I heard from sources, Sheldon Rankins, B.J. Hill, and D.J. Jones.
Yeah,
guys to watch for that the Texans could be interested in. So I think those are the guys. Those are the type of skilled players that you might see the Texans target. They won't be super high priced free agents, so they're not the top tier of the guys, but they're guys who have shown to be reliable and may have some incentive to play a lot better and probably get on shorter term deals.
Okay.
Go ahead, Christoph.
Oh, no, I was saying, and for the people that don't know, these guys are defensive tackles, play for the Bengals and
Right.
the Broncos, just in case you guys didn't know out there.
Right.
So, I know, especially with us not having very much cap space, Texans fans shouldn't be looking for us to get like a Nick Bolton or a high-priced player that's coming out this year, right?
I mean, I could see like one, the Texans signing one pretty high-priced guy, but not multiple guys. Like they got like 3 or 4 high-priced guys last year. I don't see that happening. I can see them getting one high-priced guy and like some middle-of-the-road guys who on some proven deals, but not a ton of high-priced free agents. And if it's a high-priced free agent, then I could see that person being on the defensive line more than any other position.
Kenneth, you got some questions for John?
Not at the moment.
Okay. What's the point ending the season? The main issue was offensive line. Everybody's seen that. A lot of people were blaming the ex-offensive line coach. I'm not going to murder his last name because I'm terrible at it.
Chris Strausser.
Yeah, there you go. Now that we got Popovich, do you see kind of us going after guys he wants, or is he just going to try to revamp this line and do it his way?
I mean, I think the offensive line will fit whatever the scheme the Texans decide to run. Popovich obviously, and I reported this way back when the Texans were, after they fired Bobby Slowick, and there was a possibility that Strausser would stay along, that, the players respected Strausser. They thought that he was smart, and they thought that he taught technique well. I didn't hear that about Strausser, not that they felt that way. I mean, I heard that about Popovich, but not Strausser. And I think, and D'Amico, he's kind of said this in multiple interviews, that he feels like having just one voice in the offensive line room will help. And I think he believes that they had too many last year. Like they had Strausser, Zach Yenzer, and Chris Popovich. So that they had 3. So 3 guys trying to teach these offensive linemen, and now they'll have 2. They'll have just Popovich and Yenzer as assistant. So We'll see how that works. I think Nick Caley, his background being a position coach, a tight ends coach, they like the fact that he's had his hands in the passing game and the running game, and that'll help Popovich. But I think together they'll find players, and I'm predicting that they'll probably sign a guard in free agency and probably draft one. But they'll have guys come in and try to compete for starting roles, because I think it's really uncertain at left guard right now, and right guard is, and I think there's a big competition at right guard.
Yeah, and it's still up to grabs. Like if we cut Mason, don't we save like close to $9 million or something?
Yeah. If he's a post June 1st cut, he saved $9 million. I after talking with some people, I kind of think that they'll allow Mason to kind of compete in training camp, and if he's not good, then they would cut him and save that money. Whether you cut him, designate him post June 1st cut and cut him August, it doesn't make a difference. You can't use that money for free agency. So I think they'll give Mason the chance to compete and show that he's better than what he showed last year.
All right. And also one thing I wanted to ask you, and I'll hand off to the other guys. Last year, Joe Mixon tweeted out the eye emoji, and we got Stephon Diggs. He tweeted out today, man, bet Nico Collins and X, I'll just wait. What do you think he means by that? Do you think we're going to win for the finish, or is he just like Kershaw says, he's just capping?
Wait, how close to him tweeting that out did they trade for Stephon Diggs?
I think it was that day of, wasn't it?
It was the day of?
I think so.
I think it was like maybe a week or two in advance.
I thought it was close to that.
Sometimes people just blowing smoke. Maybe he heard that they're trying to target somebody, but deals don't always come through. I don't know. I do know the Texans will be in the market for a veteran wide receiver. I think it'll come a little later after they save some money. But I don't know. I don't know what he means. I don't know what he means by that. A lot of guys just put stuff out there to see what people say, and he may be responding to something he's hearing. I don't know, but it'll be something to watch for sure.
It's the off season, right? He has to find something to do, So why not? Chris, you got anything else for John?
Yeah. I got something for Jonathan Money Alexander. Okay. Can you give us an insight of what you heard or what you seen with your own eyes that went wrong last year with Bobby? Because the offense was night and day from CJ's rookie year to his sophomore year. And we were all frustrated as fans in the stands, on TV watching, because we thought this offense was going to be elite, top 10 level, but we was bad. So can you tell us and the fans what you seen or what you heard that we don't know?
Well, I wrote about this at the end of the year, so I don't know if everybody read my story. I wrote about this in January, and then I wrote a little bit more in February after Bobby got fired. But I think one of the biggest things first, you start off with, I think the Texans misevaluated the offensive line. I think, they assumed that Kenyon Green was going to take another step, and he did not, and they did not have a backup plan over there. I think Juice Scruggs underperformed, and then Shaq Mason did not look in shape and regressed terribly. So you had that issue of that offensive line. That was a little bit unexpected. Then you had the issue, and I wrote about this in my story in January, that Bobby Slowick and C.J. Stroud did not always see eye to eye. They had a little bit of disagreements of how CJ would be used. I think there were some people who felt like CJ was in a box, and Bobby Slowick really wanted to keep CJ in the structure of the offense. And CJ had a lot of success in 2023 by playing outside the structure of the offense, making plays, playing backyard football. Of course, that's not always sustainable, but Bobby even talked about it in a lot of his press conferences. Defenses adjusted to how Bobby Slowick was calling plays. They took away a lot of the explosive plays and a lot of the deep shots. And Bobby Slowick ultimately never had an answer. A lot of the halftime adjustments that you wanted to see, Bobby Slowick didn't correctly make the halftime adjustments. That was the thing that was frustrated. And Bobby Slowick never really had an answer. And I think that frustrated the heck out of D'Amico Ryans. I think D'Amico Ryans felt, and I know this for a fact, that D'Amico Ryans felt that the defense was good enough to win the Super Bowl and that they had given the offense enough pieces that they should have also been good enough. And the fact that the offense could not make adjustments was really frustrating. And D'Amico felt like they could reach another level. They were capable of reaching another level. And I think Bobby Slowick's inexperience as an offensive play caller really hurt him. And I think that's ultimately why things didn't work out and why he was ultimately fired and why D'Amico felt like he needed to go in a different direction.
I have a question, John. From the outside looking in, I feel like, me personally, I feel like D'Amico is not. I don't think he want an experienced guy. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to a former head coach as an OC coming in, or you know what I'm saying, a guy that probably never been a head coach but been an OC for other teams. What is up with D'Amico going for guys that not experienced and calling plays and you know what I'm saying, things of that nature? Like, do you think he don't want like somebody experienced, or he just like, what do you think when it comes to that?
No, I think he would have been open to it. Like, they inquired about Chip Kelly, who has experience, and they talked to Chip Kelly. And ultimately, Chip Kelly's asking price to be the OC was more than what they were willing to spend on a candidate who they didn't think was much better than the other candidates or who was on equal playing field as the other candidates. So he would have hired an experienced guy. I think the first year, the situation was a little bit different. He was hired in late January. There's a short period of time where you can find an offensive coordinator. He didn't have a huge tree to choose from. He interviewed, what's the guy, coordinator? Yes, interviewed Cliff. That was an option. Obviously, things didn't work out. He hired Bobby Slowick because Bobby Slowick, he was familiar with him. Bobby Slowick helped him learn how to break down film. They had come up together. And then the second year, they interviewed some experienced coaches, talked to experienced coaches. But I think ultimately they felt like Nick Caley was a rising star who, had a lot of great reviews, who fit what they wanted to do, had come from Josh McDaniel's system in New England. And then Sean McVay was highly sought after by many people. And Nick Caserio obviously could vouch for him. And I think it just kind of fell that way. I don't think that D'Amico was opposed to an experienced play caller. But usually if you got an experienced play caller who's not a coach right now, then, that's not good. It's because he got fired. So I think D'Amico tried to choose from the best available options that he thought would fit what they're trying to do.
Okay, so go ahead.
No, I said go ahead. I was talking. Go ahead, Joseph.
Oh, okay. So out of all of the candidates that was available for OC, which one did you prefer? Who did you want to hire? And they'll make this offense reach the heights like the Detroit Lions or something.
Well, I mean, if I'm being honest with you, I wasn't familiar with all of these candidates. I could only go based off what other people were telling me. People were telling me to shy away from Chip Kelly because he didn't have success previous in the NFL and might have struggled a little bit at Ohio State before they won the national championship. The only coach who I was familiar with his work per se was Jeff Nixon, because I covered him when he was at Carolina. I saw what he did after they fired Joe Brady. He came in without Christian McCaffrey, with the kind of washed Cam Newton, and I shouldn't say washed, but a Cam Newton who wasn't the same Cam Newton. And he, did what he did, and then that wasn't his offense, and then he went to Syracuse and made them number one. So I thought he would have been good, but that might have not have been the style that the Texans were obviously looking for in the end, or the style that fit CJ. So I didn't really have a preference because because I wasn't really as familiar with the candidates' work, only based on what I had read. And it really is really a guessing game. You really don't know until you see the product that they put on the field. I think Nick Caley is going to be, appears to be a good hire. He has experience. He's coached under some great coaches, so he has some great mentors. And he's a hard worker and seems to be a smart guy, down to earth guy who can relate to players. So I don't think this is totally a bad hire. And I haven't seen one expert who knows Nick Caley really criticize a hire. Everybody I talked to when I did the story on Nick Caley was super complimentary of the guy.
Yeah, it seems like, I'm not gonna lie, he definitely won me over when I saw the press conference. Just receiving his energy and just discerning like the type of energy he's gonna bring. It seems like he's gonna bring the same energy that D'Amico brings, you know what I'm saying, to the defense and to the team. So that's always a plus to have that guy. And not only that, he seemed like he's straightforward. Like he's not gonna sugarcoat nothing. So when I saw that, then he literally pointed out all the problems we had last year and let me know like this guy literally studied and went. I don't know how many games he watched last year, but he went and watched some games and you can tell like he knew, all right, I see what the issue was. So it seemed like he know what our issue was last year, and I think he has a solution for those problems we had. So I'm definitely intrigued to see where it's going to go. I think he's going to be a great coach for us, and hopefully, you know what I'm saying, even though this is his first time calling plays, I hope, you know what I'm saying, I think he's going to do his thing. I think he's going to do good things with CJ.
For sure. I agree.
Kershaw, you had another one?
So just by looking at how things going right now, how long of a window do you give this team to get it done? Because once you pay a quarterback, a lot of things change. So give me your time frame of a window to at least get to AFC Championship game. At least get there. I ain't gonna say Super Bowl. I want to say baby steps first. At least the AFC Championship. What's your window time frame?
I think this year coming up is the year that they have to do it, really. And I think typically you see quarterbacks really take a leap in year 3, like I'd expect CJ to do. But, I really, the Texans are trying to do as much as possible and trying to sign and have as many good players and win in this time frame that CJ is on a rookie deal. I don't know how much longer he'll be on a rookie deal. He could sign an extension after next season. So I believe the timeline is right now. I think the Texans need to be able to get to the AFC Championship game next year. And I think the AFC right now is really wide open. The Ravens are always going to be really good, right? But I think the Chiefs are going to take a step back this year. We already saw that. And they're trading their offensive line. They probably have a plan, but I think they're truly going to take a step back. I think the Bills are a team that the Texans can beat. I think they're good, but they're a team that the Texans could beat. So right now, really, you're looking at the toughest competition being the Ravens, and they have to figure out things on defense. Eventually teams have to recalibrate because contracts become too much, and I think that's what you're seeing among the top teams in the AFC. And so I think right now is the time that the Texans take a step. And while CJ is under this rookie deal, and this could be 1 or 2 years, but I think right now is the time that they really have to take a leap.
Okay. Well, John, we know that you have to get going. Your time is very valuable. So before we all let you go, you can't say Houston because we know you got love for Houston. Any other city that you went to, where's the best food you got from? Me and Chris are big backs. We love our food, so we're all about it.
Best food, just food in general.
Yeah.
Miami always has great food. Miami always has phenomenal food, and I haven't been there in a couple of years, but I do like Miami. Miami is an underrated food city because it has so many different cultures. And I love anywhere in the South. I think the South knows how to do food better than the North does. The North. I'm sorry if y'all from the North, but the North can't do food.
Okay. Well, so one more. Sadly, I moved up here, the Chiefs Kingdom, and they rant and rave about their barbecue. I think it's mid. I don't think it's that good. You've been to Carolina. You've been to Texas. Who has the best barbecue?
I'm biased. I'm from North Carolina, so I'm always say North Carolina. But I will say Kansas City, the places I went to, they have some good barbecue. Y'all, all right, I'm gonna make some people mad, but I haven't had good barbecue in Houston yet. Y'all gonna have to tell me where I need to go.
Oh, Chris, I'll hook him up.
Y'all got to tell me where I need to go because I haven't found it yet.
All right, man. You need to go to Triple J's. That's on 16 and Homestead on the north side.
Okay.
Go to Southern Q. That's 45 and Ritchie Road on the north side. Or you can
Southern
go to
Q.
Southern Q, yes, sir. Or you go to Burns Barbecue. That's on 45 and Shepherd on the north side, man. It's everything on the north side, man. You know what I'm saying? On the north side. Come over there and get the barbecue. Change your life.
I have heard of Triple J's. I've heard multiple people mention Triple J's, but when I first moved here, everybody was telling me about Truth, and I just wasn't impressed with Truth.
No. See, they when they tell you about Truth and what's the other one over there in Pearland? Everybody talk about what's the one in Pearland? Keno?
Bighorn.
No, the other one. They got them at the Texans Stadium. That nasty ass barbecue in the
Hold
Texas
on.
Stadium. They in Pearland. I can't think of the name of them, but those places like that, it's not good. They're going by the name, man. They ain't. I'm giving you the place that got the good smoky flavor to it and everything.
Okay.
Burns, Southern Q, or Triple J's. Go to one of
You
those
talking
three
about
right there.
Killings?
Yeah, Killings. Yeah, they killing it.
Okay.
That shit
Oh
nasty
yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
That's not good barbecue. Now Triple J, they normally be at the rodeo, so if you go to rodeo, you can get them there, but it's gonna cost you a little bit more. You can just go to the store and get it, and it's way better.
Okay. All right. I appreciate that. I'm going to the rodeo this weekend, so I'm gonna try. I'm gonna either go there or I'm gonna eat it at the rodeo.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, fellas. You got any more questions before we let Mr. Jonathan M. Alexander sign off?
No, man, just appreciate you coming back on again, man. I just hope this season is a good season. I want to do something in life that I ain't never seen from this team, And shout out to Carolina.
Absolutely. Appreciate y'all.
Hey,
Keno?
I got one quick question.
Okay.
All right, J. Cole or Kendrick?
Ooh.
Okay. I grew up on J. Cole. The warm up album. I mean, mixtape was like that took me through college. But
Yeah.
I've been heavy on Kendrick
Yeah.
the last 3 or 4 years, and he killed Drake. So
Yeah. Man, I wish we would
Wasn't
have
even
got
a
that
fair fight.
collab album,
Yeah, it
man.
wasn't even fair.
what was that? Say that again.
It wasn't even a fair fight.
When and Drake went outside, man, suing and everything.
Yeah.
So I
So,
say
so,
right now, Kendrick.
so you said the Super Bowl halftime was great.
It started out a little bit slow, but I thought it picked up, and he hit it out the ballpark. Second half and the end of it, I thought it was good.
Yeah, he's definitely getting sued after that one. For
For
sure.
For sure.
All right, John. Well, before you head out, why don't you tell everybody where we can find you on social media and what you got cooking that way we can support you, brother?
Yeah, you can find me on social media on Twitter at JONM Alexander. Same thing on Instagram, but an underscore at the end. And I have a free agency preview later on this weekend and a story on Mike Tomine. I spoke to him. So you can find that on HoustonChronicle.com. And I'll always tweet all my stories. So check me out there.
All right. Well, Jonathan, thanks again for coming on. It was a
Appreciate
pleasure always to have an open spot for you. So more welcome.
Appreciate it. Anytime. All right, y'all. Be easy.
All right,
You
have a
too,
good
man.
one.
All right, fellas. You keep it going or we end it here?
Oh, you keep it going. We get a little debate going because Mr. Kershaw think my man Joe Mixon out here capping. Look,
He is capping.
man, he ain't capping, bro. That man is not capping, bro. And one thing, this man is a true leader on this team. So I know this man is not capping. Like that's one thing for sure. I know he's not capping now. Who is he talking about? Of course, the reason he didn't say a name, you can't really say a name, for one. But there is something up in the air. And all I gotta say to my Texans fans, And you know what I'm saying, y'all. If we get DK, I'm losing it, bro. I'm telling y'all right now, I'm gonna lose it. Like I'm, bro. It's gonna be up for real if that happens. I know the money. We got some things we got to do, but hey, if you trying to go all in, you got to make it happen.
Hey, bro, you know I love you, right? You're like a brother to me, but
Hey,
you're gonna be sad, man.
I'm not gonna be sad
There's
if
no
it
way
don't
we're gonna
happen.
get DK.
If it don't happen, I'm not gonna be sad because at the end of the day, as a Texans fan and really just as a fan, period, of course nobody see it happening. But my thing is, if it does happen, like the energy is gonna be stupid. Just having them two guys, Nico and DK, on the same team with CJ, like, bro. But yeah, and I'm gonna say this: I don't want no Tyler Lockett. I don't want no Christian Kirk. I'm sorry, y'all. Like that's just me. I know them two guys you be wide receiver two on the team. I get that, but me personally, I don't want to go for the medium level guys. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
If you can go get you a DK, if you can go get you Garrett Wilson, like go do it. You know what I'm saying? Like
Well,
just
Garrett
go do it.
Wilson, he's just admitted he's off the table. He's happy with Aaron Glenn and Rogers being cut, so I think he's staying put.
You think?
But I agree with like the only people I want, and I really don't want them. Uh, Chris Goodwin, you don't know how he's gonna come back with that injury, so it's kind of a question mark, and you don't know what kind of money he wants. And Devontae Adams, I mean, would it be nice having the old Devontae Adams? Yeah, but when's the last time we saw the old Devontae Adams?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I think you do have to make a trade, and I, you make a trade and you still draft because this draft is full of great receivers.
Mm-hmm.
So you bring one in to kind of learn, and like if Crensaw's right, Tank is a bust. You guys replace him.
For
So
sure.
it cushions the blow. I think we make a trade for like Brandon Ayuk, and I really don't want him because of the cap. Cooper Cup. That's who I think we go after. But I just
I'm not gonna lie, I don't want no Cooper Cup either. I got love
I
for
love me
Cooper,
some Cooper Cup,
but
but he's getting old and
yeah, if you're gonna spend money, you might as well go big.
right.
You know what I'm saying? You're gonna spend that
Well,
money,
in
you
the
might as
injuries,
well.
we already have injury prone receivers. We don't need to add to it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, Chris, what's your thoughts?
If this was 2026, the DK trade made sense, but there's no way they can get DK and give him what he won for his salary. Um, Tyler Lockett and Christian Kirk, to me, and Devontae Adams, I'm okay with all three of those guys to come in because I know what all the three of those guys bring to the table, especially Lockett and Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams last year, they had, I think, 1,100 yards, and he played with two bad quarterbacks last year. Two bad quarterbacks last year. So I'm okay with all three of those guys, man. We just need somebody that could be on the field and be productive that teams could scout for because teams take Nico Collins out the game too easy for me. You
Well,
know,
that erases Christian Kirk because Christian Kirk hasn't been healthy in 3 years.
I mean, well, Christian Kirk, yeah, he had that one good season with Jacksonville, and then he had I think a 700 yards next season, and last year he only played 8 games. But you got to look at too, T Law has really declined every year as well. So quarterback plays a huge factor in a wide receiver. And Tyler Lockett, this was up.
Before before he went out 2 years ago, he was having better numbers than Ridley, and he had like you said he had 860 something yards because I argued with the Jaguars fan, and then last year he was on pace for another good season, but he got hurt.
He
So
got hurt. Yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm like I say, and then Tyler Lockett, this guy has been Mr. Consistent. He's barely hurt and everything. It was just a lot of balls going around in Seattle. So, don't need him anymore. JSN, he's emerged. So they're like, okay, we don't need you anymore. But I'm okay with those guys, man. And then still draft a wide receiver. and then go get a tight end, man. We need a true tight end. I'm not buying into this Dalton. I'm not buying into this Brevin Jordan. We need a good tight end that can block and catch, cause so this offense could keep going, man. We need like a real guy out there,
Call me
man.
crazy.
Hopefully we can get Mayor.
Yeah, Mayer's good, man.
Trade
Yeah,
for 7 for him. I mean,
something, bro. Give him Fields.
Yeah, cause he don't
'Cause he
cost
in
that
the
much.
well,
yeah.
do what they love to do in the NFL. Give them those trades that can possibly turn to a fifth. You know, give them a 6 and possibly turn to a
Mhm.
fifth. Because I mean, especially, and I see this all over Texans Twitter. I know it's toxic, but it's interesting sometimes. Everyone's like, "Oh, we don't want him. We don't want him. He's too big of a project." But our offensive coordinator was a tight end coach, so why not bring him in here? And okay, he was a project, but also he also got a job taken from uh drawing a blank. What's his
Yeah,
name?
I can't think. I wanted the guy last year.
Brock Bowers.
Yeah,
Yeah, he got his
uh,
job taken from him. So like he's only this is what his third year. Give the guy a
yeah,
break. So I'm for the trade.
yeah, for sure. And then get Dalton out of here, bro. Like, why? My thing is, why waste time? Like, why waste time and your money? Get Dalton out of here and see if you can get that young man Mayer. And like, hey, well, go in the season with Mayer. Um, what's his name? I can't think of her rookie name from last year.
Stover.
K.
Yeah.
Cade, and also Brevin. Like you would still have three guys. And not only that, who knows? Cade can possibly become something. So and he blocked pretty well last year. So like
I,
my thing is we wasting money by having Dalton on his team. Honestly. That's
Well,
money that's
no, no,
being
no, no,
wasted.
no, no. Just call it how it is. We wasted money paying everybody so early. We
Yeah,
we just
that
started
too.
paying motherfuckers without even much doing anything. Shaq Mason got paid. Motherfucker ain't much seen a down. We paid Joe Mixon. He had a great season last year, but he ain't much play a down.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie, bro. No, Joe
he
Mixon
is
is
okay.
the Joe
But
Mixon is that dude, bro.
still, you paying these guys without them even doing anything.
But
So
I'm
that
cool
that
with Joe Mixon though.
I
Dalton
mean, yeah.
Schultz, that was a head scratcher.
Shaq Mason,
Shaq
Titus
Mason was
Howard,
a
you
head
paying
scratcher.
him.
Howard head
Titus was definitely
well,
a head
it
scratcher.
wasn't a head scratcher shot extending him, right? For the money he got. Now that was a head scratcher. Like
Yeah. But
I,
even
eh?
extending him, because this is how I feel, y'all. Like I feel like he's replaceable. Like
I get where
don't
you have him on there because he's like a Swiss Army knife, right? Like this
yeah.
year, we needed somebody to move the left guard, moving the left guard. But that type of money, bro, like what are we doing here?
I think that type of money is the reason why he's been moving around. Like, hey, you get all this money, you finna go where we want you to go. Like last year, we had George Fink. Like they was like,
Bring him
we
back.
keeping him in right. You finna go at guard. So
Bring him like we was talking in the chat about trading Tunsil. I'm not against trading Tunsil. I'm not. We just have to have a placement plan.
for sure, we got. I understand. We have to have a plan if we trade Tussle. I
So
agree. I'm not saying trade the man and who playing left tackle Fisher. You know what I'm saying? Or are we gonna put Titus? Like, no, I'm not. That's not my like what I want.
well,
But at the
well,
same
listen,
time,
so hear me out. I'm gonna pull the Ken card. Hear me out, Ken. All right.
got you.
Bring back Fant.
Yeah, that's what I want to do, regardless.
Trade Tunsil, get a first round, second round pick for him. Draft his replacement, possibly. I'm like,
Yeah,
there's loads
that's the
around.
thing. Like, that's the thing. Like, if well, people gotta understand, like Tussle has value. That's my point. Like Tussle has value. You can at least get a second round pick for
Oh
that
yeah,
man.
he's still a top five left
Like
tackle. If
you
not
can at
top
least get a
three.
second round pick and possibly get a second and a fourth. Like you can get some value for that man. And then of course, yes, you have to fill those shoes somehow. But like I said in the group chats, I said bring in George Snake. Like people like, man, But nah, like bring him in, like because he was solid when he was starting for us. Like
Ask,
he was
ask
solid.
Crusoe.
Like
Ask Crusoe. Crusoe's my witness. When we had our boy VT on the show, I was George fan, pro fan. I was his number one stand. I
yeah,
said good. Everybody called me stupid.
man, he
And
was
then
locking that
what he
right
did.
side down.
He was
Even when
doing
he
his
played the
thing.
left, it was
Yeah,
locking down.
yeah. So I'm always I don't know why we didn't resign him.
Look,
Because
give him that one. Give him the 1 year
1 year.
deal. Give him that 1 year deal. He gonna go crazy. He gonna ball. So, hey,
We wouldn't
it's
be in this
ways.
predicament, right? Like,
My thing is like Nick Casario. That this is all on Nick Casario. Like I need some of us fans to not worry or man, like bro, Nick Casario, he got a job to do. D'Amico right behind him. They gonna have to figure it out. Like it's things that has to be figured out because you got to make some things shake. You got to move some things around. You got to replace some people. That's just how the game is, and it's possible. It's doable. They just got to make it happen.
well, I'm not to the point where like, oh, he sucks. He needs to get out of here.
No. He don't suck. I just see it as he got
Well,
value.
no,
That's all I see.
there are fans,
Yeah.
already wanting his head, but you see somebody like the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
They got a whole revamped coaching staff. They got a young quarterback. And they already made 2 trades
Mm-hmm.
to get new linemen. Like, come on, man. You literally came out and said that the offensive line was the problem.
Mm-hmm.
But yet you do nothing about it.
Yeah.
Quit sitting on
My
your hands.
thing is, I know people say it's hard to trade for offensive linemen, but I don't know. Like, I'm curious. I just hope we don't go into next season with the same line. Like that's what's gonna like really have us like, bro. Like, so hey, we definitely gonna be discouraged if that's the case.
Well,
Even if we do draft a guy, it's still gonna be discouraging.
that's not call me crazy. They said it's hard, right?
Yeah.
The Bears gave up Jonah Jackson in the 4th round pick
Mm-hmm.
for Joe Thuney. Why don't we do the same thing?
That's all. But see, here's the thing. I don't see us. That was not going to happen for us. For KC.
Well,
KC do not.
I'm not.
KC don't want to see us do better. For one.
Oh, sure.
But so, and then the other thing is that's been the situations for years now. You know what I'm saying? It's been a situation for years now. Like we see other teams do something, and we like, dang, why we didn't do that? So, I don't know. Like, who knows? You know what I'm saying? This has been going on for a
That's
couple
the
of
thing
years now.
we always go back to. We're too complacent.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you want to get better, you gotta keep moving. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I'm saying. I ain't gonna lie. Like Nick, I'm not gonna say he on the hot seat, but Nick, you don't get me wrong. You did your thing last year. We just need you to
he's
make
done things
sure.
like the last 3 years. Like he's
Yeah,
been
for sure.
knocking out the park.
He
You
been
know?
doing his thing. I'm just saying, like as far as like he gonna have to figure some things out to create cap space. Like Nick got his job to do, and I'm pretty sure he's gonna do it. Like I got nothing but faith in the guy. I think he's gonna do it, and I think he's gonna get the job done. We just got to take that next step.
Yeah, and y'all might disagree with me on this, but like I love the draft. I love giving new people chances to live their dream, but I'm more of proven commodity. So if he's proven, go get him. Like yeah, draft is a good concept.
Mm-hmm.
He might be good, or he might be another Kenan Green.
Yeah.
Like I get you guys want to draft a guard, but Joe Thuney is what a 2 all-time pro. Like go get me a Joe Thuney. I'm sorry. That's just how I see it.
Yeah.
The
I
center,
just know
the center for the
KC should have
Falcons.
wanted a second or something from us.
Well, okay, still the center from the South Falcons. He was right the top 4 center of all NFL. What are you doing, Nick? Go make it happen, Captain. Like,
Yeah. He gotta go. He got
yeah,
he
put it on your
at
hand.
least he got to trade for one interior lineman. He has to trade for one at least. And then if you want to pick up one more, like And free agency, cool, but he got to trade for one, and that's one guy right there from ATL. Man, trade for that guy. And like I told Huncho, put that man in center. I'm sorry, Patterson like that. He's not solidified at center. I'm
No,
sorry. So you
move him to
know,
guard.
so yeah, move him to guards. You got to like, man, go, make it happen. We need that interior right
And
because
like
that's
and
the
like
only way we're gonna
in the
get to the
wise
Super
words of
Bowl.
Crenshaw,
Yeah,
he needs competition. Can't be competitive. We'll
facts,
get that boy some competition.
facts. The
Crenshaw,
whole
you
line
got
need
anything to say?
competition.
Yeah, man, they all need competition, man. Don't be
Mm-hmm.
handing these guys the job. Put somebody behind them that want to take that job, man. We need thirsty guys like CJ's rookie year when those guys was out and the offensive line gel together. I just can't have my quarterback shell shocked this year because last year he was definitely was shell shocked and he didn't look the same. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it was
Until
countless
it was too late.
times. Yeah, countless times in the barbershop, I got to make excuses for my quarterback because he was
Yeah,
looking really bad because of that offensive line.
fellas,
So
I
we
got a
got we
theory.
what's up?
Not Keyshawn, keep going. I'll say it after you.
Okay, so we got to get the offensive line right, but like John said, and as we see as well, we don't have that much money to actually get that position right. So Nick, you got to make some things shake, bro. You got to make some things shake, or hopefully Cole seeing what he's seen last year that they didn't change that we could change this year to get that line right. Because I'm telling you, man, if that line the first couple weeks and CJ's getting smacked around, it'll be a long season again. We got to depend on defense, and then they're gonna wear out come playoffs.
I have a theory, fellas.
What's up?
And the more time goes by, man, the more I feel like this is the case. Fellas, I feel like CJ had a down year last year is because he wanted Bobby Sloyd gone. I have a feeling he wanted Bobby Sloyd gone. So he did a little something here, a little something there. He looked it bad here, you know what I'm saying? Like it was an up and down year. He was getting smacked around. I personally feel like this man wanted Bobby Sloyd gone. So that's why he played the way he played. Now, the only way that's gonna prove that right is if next year comes, this season comes, and this man is having a MVP type season that everybody thought he was gonna do last year because they had him the favorite to be the MVP last year. But if this man come into this season this year, start off the rip, going crazy, you know what I'm saying, balling, and then it carries out through the season, we're gonna know for a fact that it was all Bobby Sloyd. And not only it was all Bobby Sloyd, we're gonna also know that CJ wanted that man gone because it was some plays that this man was holding the ball and people was open. Like like even that Lions game, like it was a lot of head scratches in that game. It was like, CJ, bro, that's not true. What you doing? But I don't know. Like of course we would never know. This is just a theory, you know what I'm saying, conspiracy theory or whatever the case may be. That's all this is. But I have a feeling that was the case, man.
I mean I don't know about that. That really I've never heard of a quarterback playing bad a whole year to get rid of an offensive
But he
coordinator.
didn't play that bad though.
He played horrible, bro. He played
No, he
horrible.
played mediocre. He didn't
It
play
wasn't
horrible.
horrible. It
It
was
wasn't
big.
horrible. It was some it, like I said, he had some good moments, he had some bad moments. It
He had
was
a lot of
up and
bad. He had
down.
more bad moments than good moments, though.
Can't say that we went 10-7.
Huh?
You can't say that we went 10-7.
I mean, 110-7 because the defense was better last year than it was the
I
first
hear
year.
you. I hear you.
I
But
think a lot of like a lot of the games he was good in the first half. A couple of them he was
that
great.
Colts game, he was solid as heck. He
Put
tripped and fell and threw the ball, got the first down. Like
uh,
he was doing
th-
some things.
all right. Think about it. If the defense wasn't as good as it was last year, we would have won 5 games. Look at what the second half. We didn't score no touchdown. Field goal, field goal, field goal. The
That
defense kept
goes
us.
back on Bobby though.
Huh?
That goes back on Bobby though.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What I
No
don't. But like I say,
adjustments.
yeah, they caught up with him, and then this year, if he balls out, that's because no one knows our OC, just like they don't know Bobby.
Man,
So,
stop it, bro. Stop it. Stop it.
uh, I
Stop
don't.
it.
Nah,
Stop
man.
it,
Put
Crenshaw.
like this. Put like this.
Look,
Put like this. Put like this. Put like this. Put like this. Okay. You want the guy gone, but in the press conference, you talking about I love Bobby. We need him. I need a jail
What did
continuity and all
Deshaun
that.
Watson say about Bill O'Brien?
Man, he said it twice, and that man became the GM. He loved he loved Bill O'Brien though. He didn't love the fans, but he loved Bill O'Brien.
That's what I'm. But at the same time, bro, CJ is a man. CJ is not finna throw that man under the bus. Come
He
on, bro.
need
This is
to.
year 2. No, he don't. That's not his job. That's the Bico job. That's Nick's job. He's the
Well,
quarterback.
don't,
That's
the
in year
only,
2. He not finna throw Bobby under the bus. And
well, the
then
only thing that
if he
kind
would
of
have did that, then all these rumors about them getting into it and not seeing eye to eye, then that would have been even more like a big thing that would have been going on throughout the media, throughout these sports shows. It would have been even bigger. Notice that stuff died down. Don't nobody care about that situation. Ain't nobody been saying nothing about that situation.
right.
But just imagine if he would have threw him under the bus, bro. That would have been a big thing, a big ongoing talk going throughout this doggone off season.
Well, and also like the only thing that kind of supports your theory too is look at the Chargers and Chiefs game. CJ balled those 2 games. The
Didn't turn
line.
the ball over the Chiefs game, and he was getting
Oh,
toe up.
well, he did turn over the
No,
ball.
he turned it over in the Chargers game,
Yeah,
but that Chiefs game, he didn't turn the ball over, and he was getting toe up,
8
getting
sacks.
torches. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he was getting toe up. They was getting back there, getting to him, and he, you know what I'm saying. He was trying to win that game, and it was definitely a chance. But hey,
We got out coached, and it showed. It showed on
mm-hmm.
like Kenneth. You blame Tommy Fairbairn, but at the end of the day, when
Now
CJ
look,
Stroud getting killed
look.
8 times, no, I'm just saying when CJ Stroud getting killed 8 times, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter if he's making all the field goals.
Man,
There's a
if Fairbairn make the field goal, listen, if he go 4 for 4, we are possibly winning that game.
we still lose by 2 points.
I don't know, man. I know they scored 22, but I'm just saying the momentum, like things would have been different. We would have went into halftime probably up, or when we came out of halftime, we would have been up by 16-13. So I don't know. I know they say to win. I'm hard on Fairbairn, pause, but they gotta throw that in there for Crenshaw coming this mud. But yeah, man, dog, at the end of the day, I just want the dude to be great because we need him. Like for me, I know everybody like Crenshaw love the defense because of the defense, but at the end of the day, this is a team game. The team have to play together. That means sometimes the defense gonna have to carry, sometimes special teams might carry, sometimes the doggone offense might carry. At the end of the day, they need to all do it together so we can get the dub, because that's all that matters is the dub. The doggone Ravens game last year in the playoffs, we scored off of special teams. So like sometimes it is what it is. Whatever you got to do to win, that's all that matters. But yeah, Fairbairn, I love you, bro. I ain't got no hate towards you, bro. I'm just like I'm one of them guys
Get
that
off the
just know
cat.
he can do
Get off the
better, bro.
cat.
I know he can do better, man. I know he can.
All right, fellas. Any last words before we get off here?
That's
No,
just
no.
for me.
All right,
Hey,
fellas. Well,
DK on the way. Just know.
I hope it to say you're right. I hope to say I was wrong. You were right.
I'm gonna throw it all in there, man. We need it in the atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? You got to speak it so it may come.
All right. With that being said, fellas, well, tell where they can find you on social media, what you got cooking. So that way we can support you. Kendall, I'll start with you.
Y'all can follow me on Twitter, YouTube at Hurricane Out. Been dropping some content, man. A lot of boxing content since we got good fights going on right now. You know what I'm saying? It's the hot stuff
And
going on. But at the end of the day,
about to get better. So
yeah. Hopefully that is the case. I'm not a big fan of Turkey, me personally. But at the end of the day, I'm definitely entertained some of these fights that's being made. So yeah, hopefully boxing is on the rise. Shout out to my boy Tank, man. You know you got the haters hating on you, but hey, bro, get it back in blood. Go get that rematch, and let's make it happen. I'm throwing a party for that mother too. Throwing a party.
all right, Kershaw.
All right, ain't no grease in my eye, but you can find me at Fifth Ward Crenshaw everywhere.
Hey, bro, Chris Shaw, you got dreads, brother. Don't sit up there and act like never got no shampoo, none of that in your eyes, and you got that. You know what I'm saying?
But he know better not to go heavy on that, man.
Hey, things happen.
But okay, but why you getting new dreads or new braids before a boxing match anyway though?
Right.
You want them to be loose, not tight.
I mean, he would him like that versus Frank Martin. He would his hair. Well, I think his hair was different versus what's his name, Ryan Garcia. But I mean, it is what it is, bro. You live and learn. Like it's part of life. You know what I'm saying? And it's not just trying to sound cliche or nothing like that. Like it's part of life. That was a learning experience. Me personally, I feel like the guy still had a good fight. He just didn't knock him out, and that's what everybody want to see from Tank. Trust me, I was upset because I could tell he was. Me personally, I feel like he was holding back. That's just my opinion. No excuses. I feel like he was holding back a little bit.
I think he could have got him in the fourth. If he wanted to, I think he could have knocked him out in the fourth.
That's what I'm saying. Like I felt like he could have really took him out. I think he got too much love for Lamont, but now their rematch is going to be different because of all this stuff going on. Lamont Rose pulling a Drake and a Devin Haney right now, it's crazy, but it's cool. I know this ain't doing that, but like filling that fire, like the fuel to the fire, bro. That's all he's doing.
Okay, but while we at it, Joey Bosa just got cut. Any last thoughts before we get off, fellas?
Nah, we good on that.
Joey
Good.
Bosa.
Joey Bosa.
Joey Bosa got cut?
Yeah.
We good on that. We good on that. That ain't smart. We good.
He ain't smart.
Nah, it ain't smart. What we doing? Trade it harder?
No, we don't have to pick him up.
Yeah, he's cut.
Both in the middle.
How much he's old?
It doesn't matter how much he's old. The Chargers got to eat that. It's a new contract, brother.
Hey man, he going to the Chiefs.
He's probably going to San Francisco with his brother.
Can see that too.
I wouldn't mind it, but
I mean, I hear you, but I feel like we got 4 holes to fill.
We ain't got the money.
Yeah, and that too. Like we got more holes to fill.
All right, Crenshaw, any last words?
Nah, that's it, man. That's it.
Yeah, follow him at Fifth Word Crenshaw, and you also follow our brothers Honcho at H-Town Honcho 713 and Texans T at Texans T TV. Beautiful. Make sure you follow him on TikTok because he was dropping some fire content. Also, you can follow me at A1 Day 1 Texans. Make sure you follow the page because here shortly we're going to be dropping some new content, like I mentioned last week, like Texans here came out and Crenshaw's Consensus. So there are going to be some good ones. Make sure you join with us next Wednesday when we have NFL expert Scott Alska. I hope I didn't murder his name. I probably did, but I'll apologize until next week. Till then, stay blessed, stay up, and we'll be rooting for those Texans. Have a good
I'ma calm down. Once we top it up, there's an H-Town anthem, so we gotta slow it up.
This the best podcast known to man. We been raw. You heard it here first from Keno and Fifth Ward Crenshaw.